There is a moment you may have already lived through, but completely misunderstood. A moment where everything could have shifted between you and him, but nothing happened. Not because there was nothing there, but because you did not realize what you were actually seeing. And by the time you understood it, it was already gone. What if I told you he does not always choose you with words first? He chooses you with his behavior, and more specifically, with his hands. The way he touches you, the way he hesitates, the way he lingers just a second too long. That is not random. That is already a decision forming. And here is where it gets interesting. Most people miss these signals completely because they are waiting for something obvious. A confession, a clear statement, a perfect moment. But attraction does not usually start that way. It starts quietly, in small physical behaviors that reveal what he cannot yet say. If you have ever replayed a moment in your head and wondered, did that mean something? This is exactly what we are talking about. And once you understand it, you will never look at his behavior the same way again. Let me tell you something that might completely shift the way you look at attraction. Most women are waiting for a confession, a message, a clear signal. They are searching for words that clearly say, "I like you." But the truth is, men rarely begin with words. They begin with energy. And more often than not, that energy appears in the smallest, most ignored place. His hands. Yes, his hands. Because when a man is emotionally choosing you, not just flirting, not just passing time, not keeping his options open, his body starts showing the decision before his mouth ever catches up. And if you don't understand how to read that language, you might miss the exact moment everything begins to change between you. Think about how many times you have replayed a moment in your mind, wondering if it meant something more. The way he touched your arm, the way he held your hand just a little longer than expected, the way he didn't hurry to let go, and you told yourself, maybe I am just overthinking. But what if you weren't? What if those small, almost invisible gestures were actually the most honest signals he could give? Because here is what no one really tells you. When a man feels something real, his hands lose their ability to pretend. They become slower, softer, more careful. And in those quiet pauses, attraction stops being a question and starts becoming a decision that is slowly forming. So today, I want you to stop guessing, stop doubting, and start noticing. Because once you understand what his hands are really saying, you will never again sit there confused about where you stand. You will feel the shift as it happens. And when you do, you will not just protect your heart better, you will finally understand when a moment is asking you to lean in instead of pulling away. Let's talk about the first and most revealing sign, the lingering touch. Not the obvious kind, not the dramatic movie scene moment. I am talking about the small pause that most people miss without even realizing it. When a man touches you and does not rush to pull away, that tiny delay carries more truth than 100 playful words. Because physical contact is instinctive. We do not stay where we feel nothing. If he lightly touches your arm while laughing and his hand remains there a second longer than needed, that is not random. That is awareness. That is presence. That is a man silently asking, "Can I stay here a little longer?" And here is the deeper layer most women overlook. Intention lives in timing. Anyone can touch you casually. Friendly people do it all the time without meaning anything deeper. But the difference between friendly and meaningful is duration. A man who is not emotionally invested will touch and move on without even noticing it. But a man who feels drawn to you slows down. His hand becomes more careful, more intentional, almost like he is afraid to break the moment. That softness is not random. It is restraint. It is the physical form of holding back emotions he has not fully expressed yet. You might notice it when he helps you step down somewhere and his hand stays just a little longer after you are steady. Or when he brushes something off your sleeve and instead of pulling away quickly, he pauses. That pause is everything. It is the space where attraction quietly breathes. And what makes it powerful is that it is rarely planned. Men do not plan lingering touches. They happen when logic steps aside and emotion gently takes control. Now here is where your response becomes important. Curious, most women feel this moment and immediately panic inside. You either freeze, laugh nervously, or pull away too fast because you do not want to read too much into it. But when you rush out of that moment, you accidentally close the emotional bridge he was trying to build. Lingering touch is a test of emotional safety. He is not just asking, do I like her? He is asking, is it safe to feel this with her? So instead of stepping back, try something different. Stay calm inside the moment. You do not have to make anything bigger. You do not need a dramatic reaction. Just do not break the softness. Let your body language remain warm. Let your eyes stay gentle. Maybe even slow your movements slightly. That quiet acceptance tells him more than words ever could. It softly says, I feel comfortable here too. Because attraction often grows in these quiet micro moments, not in big gestures. A lingering touch is rarely about the touch itself. It is about permission. Permission to feel closer, permission to stay emotionally present. And when a man keeps creating these small pauses with you, he is not being unclear. He is slowly choosing you, 1 second of courage at a time. Now let's move into the second sign, when he begins mirroring you with his hands. This one is subtle, almost invisible if you are not paying attention closely. But psychologically, it is one of the clearest signs of deep attraction. Because mirroring is not something people decide to do. It happens naturally. It appears when someone feels emotionally connected to you. When a man begins matching your gestures, your pace, even the way you move your hands while speaking, it is not coincidence. It is connection happening beneath the surface. You might notice it in simple ways. You reach for your drink and seconds later, he does the same. You begin using your hands while telling a story and suddenly his hands move in a similar rhythm. You lean forward slightly and he mirrors that closeness without even realizing it. These small alignments are powerful because they show something words cannot fake: emotional synchronization. His nervous system is trying to match yours. And people do not match energy they feel neutral about. They match what draws them in. Here is why this matters. A lot of attraction at a deeper level is not about what you say, but about how you feel together in that moment. When mirroring begins, it means he is no longer observing you from a distance. He is stepping into your emotional rhythm. And when a man unconsciously follows your physical pace, it usually means he is emotionally invested enough to want harmony with you. He wants the interaction to feel smooth. He wants the connection to feel natural. And that desire only appears when he cares about how you experience him. But this is where many women accidentally disturb the moment. The second you become aware of the chemistry, you might tense up. You begin overthinking your movements, wondering if you are doing too much or becoming self-conscious. And the truth is, tension breaks mirroring, because mirroring grows in relaxed, present energy. The more natural you stay, the stronger that silent bond becomes. So what should you do instead? Stay grounded in your body. Do not rush to analyze. Do not test him. Just stay present in the moment. If you notice the mirroring, let it quietly reassure you instead of making you anxious. You do not need to perform chemistry. You need to allow it. Smile when you feel the flow. Keep soft eye contact. Let the conversation breathe instead of filling every silence. Because mirroring deepens in spaces where pressure is low and presence is high. And here is the beautiful truth. When a man starts matching your energy with his hands, he is no longer just interacting with you mentally. He is experiencing you emotionally. Softly, he is not just hearing your words, he is feeling your rhythm. And when someone begins moving in sync with you without trying, it usually means you have already crossed the invisible line between casual interaction and real connection. Now let's talk about the third sign, when his hands begin creating a sense of protection around you. This is where attraction moves from curiosity into intention. Because when a man begins to subtly protect your space physically, he is no longer just enjoying your company. He is investing in your presence in a quiet and natural way. And the key word here is subtle. This is not about dramatic actions or controlling behavior. It is about those small, instinctive movements that feel natural, almost unnoticeable unless you are really paying attention. You might see it when you are walking through a crowded place and he gently places his hand on the small of your back to guide you through. Or when you are crossing a street and his hand slightly shifts closer, not grabbing, not forcing, just there, aware, present. That gentle guidance is not about control. It is about care. It is his body responding to a quiet instinct to look out for you. You might also notice how his hands position themselves when you are sitting together. Maybe they rest closer to you, not invading your space, but creating a small sense of closeness that feels safe instead of overwhelming. These moments are easy to miss because they do not demand attention. They are soft, calm, almost silent in their message. But that is exactly what makes them meaningful. Because when a man begins to protect your space in these quiet ways, it shows that you are no longer just someone he is talking to. You are someone he is becoming aware of, someone he is beginning to value. And that shift, as small as it may look from the outside, is often the beginning of something much deeper forming underneath. Not pushing, not controlling, just gently guiding. Or when you are standing together and he shifts slightly so he is on the outside of the sidewalk without making it obvious. Maybe you are sitting somewhere busy and his arm naturally positions itself near you, creating this unspoken sense of comfort around you. These moments carry weight because they are rarely planned. They come from instinct, and instinct is where truth quietly lives. Attraction on a surface level is playful, light, and replaceable. But protective energy feels different in a deeper way. Protection signals value. It quietly says, you matter enough for me to notice your comfort, to stay aware of your space without needing to announce it out loud. And men do not consistently show that level of awareness unless they feel emotionally pulled in. When he starts adjusting his physical position to make you feel safe, included, or considered, he is already placing you in a different space in his mind. You are no longer just someone he is casually talking to. You are someone he is beginning to care about in a real and grounded way. But here is something important to understand clearly. Real protective energy feels calm, not heavy. It does not make you feel controlled. It makes you feel seen. There is a softness in it, a steady presence, and that is how you know it is genuine and not forced. A man who is trying to impress you will often exaggerate his actions. A man who truly feels something will do it quietly, almost like he does not even notice himself doing it. That natural quality is what gives it meaning. Now, your role in this moment is not to shrink or overthink it. Many women experience this and immediately reduce its meaning. You might tell yourself he is just being polite, or you might emotionally step back because you do not want to assume too much. But when you dismiss genuine care too quickly, you unintentionally create distance. Warmth needs acknowledgement to grow. Not dramatic reactions, just quiet appreciation that allows it to stay alive. So instead of brushing it aside, allow yourself to receive it fully. Let your body relax into that moment. Offer a soft smile, a warm glance, something that gently communicates, "I feel safe with you." That response does not make you weak. It creates emotional balance between both of you. And that balance is what turns attraction into connection. Because when a man's hands begin creating space for you in the physical world, it usually means he is already creating space for you emotionally as well. Protection is rarely the beginning of interest. It is usually the evolution of it, the stage where feelings begin to take shape in a more grounded way. When you recognize that shift without rushing it, you allow something deeper to grow naturally, without pressure or confusion. Just two people slowly moving closer without needing to say it out loud. This leads into a sign that many people misunderstand: nervous hand energy. It may not look confident on the surface, but the truth is, the more a man feels, the less controlled he sometimes appears. Real attraction creates pressure, and that pressure shows through small physical signs like fidgeting, adjusting things, or restless movements. These are not random habits. They are signals that his body is holding more emotion than usual. Nervousness in these moments is rarely just insecurity. It often means emotional importance. We become nervous around people who matter, around situations we do not want to ruin. A man who feels nothing can seem perfectly calm because there is nothing at risk. But a man who cares feels that inner tension, and his body reveals it. The key is how you respond. If you react with judgment or distance, the connection weakens. But if you stay warm, calm, and present, you create safety. And safety allows real connection to grow. You do not need to fix anything, just soften your energy. Because when pressure fades, authenticity naturally takes its place. Here is the deeper truth. Confidence may impress you at first, but real connection comes from emotion. And when a man's hands show even slight nervousness around you, it often means you are no longer just another passing interaction. You have become someone who genuinely affects him. And in a world filled with surface-level attention, that kind of sincerity is rare. This leads to the most powerful sign of all, the hesitation before letting go. That quiet, suspended moment when a hug lasts a little longer, when hands separate slowly, when neither of you rushes to break contact. In that small space, everything unspoken becomes real. Because hesitation is emotion without defense, the moment where instinct moves ahead of social habits and truth quietly reveals itself. This pause is not confusion, it is awareness. It is him realizing what he feels and not being ready to lose it yet. It exists at the edge of vulnerability, between comfort and possibility, where something deeper can begin. But this is also where many connections fade, not because the feeling is missing, but because both people step back at the same time. Instead of rushing away, simply stay present. Let the moment exist without forcing it, because sometimes just one extra second of presence is enough to turn potential into something real. Attraction is not always loud. It often shows up in quiet pauses, soft glances, and moments where neither of you is ready to let go. When you learn to notice these, you stop chasing clarity and start understanding it. Attraction is not always loud or obvious. It does not always come through clear words or bold actions. More often, it appears in small, quiet moments, in the way someone's hands move, pause, or hesitate. Curious, these subtle signals reveal what words sometimes cannot. When you learn to notice them, you stop feeling confused and start understanding where you truly stand. You begin to see that real connection is not about guessing, but about being present enough to feel what is already there. The deeper truth is simple. You do not need to chase clarity or force anything to happen. You only need to stay aware and trust what you feel in those moments. When something is real, it will show itself naturally, without pressure or confusion. And when it is not, you will feel that too. Your strength is not in controlling the outcome, but in recognizing the difference. When you learn to do that, you protect your peace while allowing genuine connection to grow in its own time.